Okay, so what do you do if you slip up, right? So we've set this container, we're doing 30 days clean eating, but you ate a whatever. What is your cheat food? What is the thing you think you're going to slip up on? Just think about that for a moment. Figure out what that slip up food might be. And I just want you to imagine what it would be like to eat that food and really spend a moment with it. Taste the tastes, see the experience, look at it. Oh, we've got that all backwards. Look at it, hear the sound. Maybe if there's a sound that comes with opening it or preparing it. Smell the smells, taste the tastes, when you put it in your mouth, and really be with that experience. And once you've done that, I want you to actually just take a minute and fill out the prompts and write down like what are your experiences of that. And then there's a couple at the end that are more esoteric, so the shape, the vibration, the density, the movement, right? These are kind of like strange ways to describe that, but just come up with something. Whatever comes up first, just write that down. And that is the correct answer, totally. So you can do that, and then we are also going to map something that you hate eating and track that with the same process. So you're going to think about a food that you absolutely hate, that you're like, ugh, I would never put that in my body, right? And it's really easy for you to say no to. So you're going to do the same process where you visualize it. You go like, well, not right? You go, oh, right? Feel that in your body. Imagine the experience. Put all those observations on that same sheet. And then I'm going to walk you through, in another video, a process of mapping those across, it's called. So we're going to take the food that's a challenge food that you want to let go of eating, and we're going to give it the characteristics of something that you don't want to eat that's really easy to say no to. And this is surprisingly effective across all the people I've worked with. It's just like, your brain just goes like, what? And processes it really different. The first time I saw this, it was on stage at a live event, and this woman was like obsessed with the crinkly sound that chips made when the bag opened. Oh, she just, like, you could tell, she just, and the woman who taught me this technique originally and inspired this whole thing, she brought her up on stage and she walked her through this process, and they mapped it with something she really didn't like. For me, the first time I did this, it was shark fin soup, which is sort of like snotty, muesli, like, ugh, it's just like a thick, porridgey, like made of shark fins, like, for me it was really repulsive. Some people might love it, but for me it wasn't. Anyway, this woman walked through this process, and the next day she brought her up on stage and opened a bag of chips, and the woman literally like tried to walk off the stage. You could tell she didn't feel comfortable doing that, but she was like, get me away from that thing, and it really like crystallized in my mind that this process of mapping across, it's not the thing itself, it's how we track it in our subconscious that actually creates the relationship with the food. And so when we shift that, we have a capacity to be really transformed really quickly. And you might go like, but I love that. I don't want to let it go. Like, I want to have a good relationship with it. I don't want to have a relationship with it. And so I'm going to invite you that for the context of this challenge, like, you've chosen that food as something that you want to let go of or release or not engage with. And so you can program it this way to be repulsive to you. And then later, if you decide that you do want to have more of it back or have a relationship with it where you can kind of like eat it and it's not a big deal, maybe your body's like not processing it in a challenging way anymore, maybe it's fine to eat it, or maybe, instead of being like, oh, the whole box or the whole bag or whatever it is, or all of it, or every day or all the time or whatever it is, you have this like, oh yeah, that's something I eat sometimes and it's not a big deal, right? And that capacity, you can literally, once you've gone like far to one side, you've already shown yourself you can have a relationship with it. You can reprogram that relationship however you want. So then later you can decide and reprogram, okay, I'd like to experience this previously challenged food that I now have no desire to eat. I can reprogram it to be something that I have a neutral to easy to enjoyable relationship with, where I have no challenges, right? Like, As an example, like maybe you really struggle with letting go of cheese. You feel like it's bad for you. It causes gastrointestinal challenges or whatever. And this is just an example. May not apply to you, but you can sub in the food that makes sense for you. Um, and you have no problem eating strawberries, but you really enjoy strawberries, and you'd like to have a relationship with cheese like you have with strawberries, where when they're in season or when you see it and you feel good about it and it's in your budget and whatever, like, or when you want to, you just buy some and you eat it, and when it's gone, you don't really think about it too much until the next time you encounter it. It's not a big deal, and you don't have any health challenges or any gastrointestinal or any like mood health stuff. It's just totally fine, and you can interact with it the way that you want. And I want to invite you in watching this video right now to just integrate that you actually have complete control over how you process physically, digestively, but also psychologically, mentally, each of these foods. And it's just the lack of awareness and the lack of knowledge that you could change this relationship that has kept you trapped in these addictive, challenging patterns. You can let it go whenever you want, and you can shift into a new way. And by listening to and watching this video, you've had that seed planted, and by the time you get to the exercise, your subconscious will be totally primed to choose the appropriate food, choose the appropriate experience, and blend them together in a way that is really helpful and happy for you. And I'm happy to be part of that journey for you. Post in the comments, in the chat, like, how has this landed for you? Do you believe it's possible? What do you think? What do you think you want to try it on? What are the experiences that you have had trying to eliminate foods or trying to like reduce your engagement with certain substances? And let me know. Share the journey with everybody. Looking forward to hearing from you about that.